let's give our quick non-spoiler review of Thor, the Love and the Thunder. So, real fast, overall, what did you think of the movie?
I think it's probably going to stay in that 60, because I think it's going to be a very a little more than half and half. You're going to have those that love it and those that don't.
Yeah.
Or those that are very in the middle,
It seems like it's one of these movies where it's gonna be very divisive. Like the hardcore Marvel, I want everything action. There's only a little bit of that to love for. The Marvel who's open to. I love the fact that Marvel gives us something different every time. Those guys are gonna be like, this was different. I'm trying to say it nicely, but I'm just going to say what he said. I'm going to paraphrase. He said this didn't really feel like a Thor movie. It just felt like if Thor was a TV series, this just felt like a pretty solid episode. Like it just felt like an episode of
I felt like there was a lot of spoofs.
Yeah,
so
they spoofed too much.
Obviously it's Thor, so it's Thor, but I felt like it was parodies of Thor, but Thor playing the parodies of Thor.
Yeah. It's like I felt like I appreciate the fact that Chris Hemsworth and Taika Waititi were like, because I heard that Chris Hemsworth was getting bored with Thor until Taika Waititi introduced more humor into it and showed his funny side. But it was like this time I was like, they were like, you know how they say that even if it fails, if you go out, try to do something so bonkers, go out with a bang. I feel like this one they went for something. they went for something crazy, and this time it worked for. I felt maybe on Thor Ragnarok they were like, let's go a little bit crazy, a little bit funnier, but let's not go too far, and kept it in check.
I like Taika Waititi. I felt like he just really channeled.
He went too Taika on this.
Right, it's like his What We Do in the Shadows and the.
Like Thor, we were talking about this in the car. What we felt like Thor Ragnarok is his What We Do in the Shadows. We felt this was his this flag means death.
Like it just really went. He went all the way out there with it.
Compared to, even though for me my ranking is this, I still think that Thor 1 is the best. Thor Ragnarok is the second best, and now Thor Love and Thunder, and then Thor 2. That's my ranking. But let's take Thor Ragnarok out of it. Now you have Thor 2, and Thor Love and Thunder, which is all featuring Thor and Jane. This movie handled their relationship better than any of the other two.
Yeah.
That I felt that. I liked the way their relationship started off in Thor. It felt like I didn't care about it anymore in Thor 2. I didn't miss it in Thor Ragnarok. I thought it was funny that hey, we broke up, and she was just only mentioned in Age of Ultron. She was just mentioned. That was, hey, I got a girlfriend, but we just kind of broke up. She's a scientist, but I'm not. But this one, I think Taika Waititi figured out how to make that chemistry work, because that was one of the things people would complain about, like Thor, Chris Hemsworth and Natalie Portman's chemistry. I'm not buying it compared to Pepper Potts and Robert.
Yeah, no, they did well.
That was done way better. The cheesy comedy stuff for Natalie Portman landed when it came to being awkward. It made her character, that awkward, nerdy character, it fleshed her out a little bit more, in my opinion. That's the positive thing about it. Christian Bale, as even though when they tried to make him a little funny, he had some silly moments too. That stuff kind of didn't land either. But I feel like he was the best villain that Thor has ever had.
I mean, it's Christian Bale.
It's Christian Bale. Even. Well, not better than Loki, but I don't consider Loki his enemy. But all the other villains that Thor has ever faced, besides Loki, I think Christian Bale as a villain.
Yeah, he did. He did really
he did
well.
a real good job. Even though it was some situations where he was trying to be funny and stuff, he was still one of the scariest villains that I felt like. How can I say this? The villain from going back to Thor 2. This is how he should have been received. I felt like this is what they were going for. What Christian Bale was able to pull off. Because they humanized him so much. Because if you know anything about the history of the character, learning why he does what he's doing, you empathize with him. It's like, even though he was obviously a bad guy, and what he was doing was bad. I sat there going the whole time going, I can't blame him. I can't say that I wouldn't be doing the exact same thing if I went through exactly what he went through. But I don't know. What about that? What about anything?
Yeah, Christian Bale was fantastic, and he definitely made that scary.
Yeah.
And I liked Natalie Portman in this.
I liked her more in this. I liked Valkyrie more in Ragnarok versus this one, but I like Valkyrie and I like. I'm gonna say Valkyrie. What's her name or her real name? The actress. I forgot. But I like Natalie Portman and her. I like them together. They were funny. I thought that was funnier. Those little moments where they were just talking, having their Bechdel test moments with them two, not
Those
talking.
were cute.
They were cool together. I would have loved to see more of that. We probably won't, but I thought that was awesome. What's his name? Korg. I didn't think he was even necessary in this movie this time. Mm-hmm.
And it's like some of it landed and some of it just didn't. A lot of it was very quirky, weird, unusual stuff that you're like. Sometimes it was like, yeah, that's pretty funny, and sometimes it's like,
that was funny.
It's kind of funny.
That was funny the first time. Why did you do it again? I was afraid that when they explain the reasons why Natalie Portman, Jane Foster, was able to get Mjolnir, I thought they were going to explain it in a bad way. Now, without telling you what happened, they were able to go back and because most of that they had a little flashback moments where they showed their relationship, and this had to have been everything that was pretty much going on between Thor Part 1 and Thor Ragnarok. All their relationship, going through their ups and their downs, leading all the way to when Age of Ultron when they broke up. But there was a moment where kind of explaining that Stormbreaker and Mjolnir are sentient in a way, or just kind of aware of like a living thing. And I don't know if you caught it, where they explain why Mjolnir was now focusing on Jane and considered her worthy. And it was in a way and I noticed it was a callback to when Thor's father, what's the actor's name? Silence of the Lambs. What's his name? I'm doing it again.
Anthony
Hopkins, yes. when he first enchanted Mjolnir to get Thor to become worthy. When he first put that spell on, and I always considered it a spell. Now I'm looking at it like this movie made me look at it as like it's like a command or a request. Like I didn't look now. At first I was like, he's putting a spell on Mjolnir. Whoever shall be worthy shall be able to lift the hammer of Thor. After this movie, I am now on board with you guys. I am convinced more than Young Avengers is happening. That is too, like after Hawkeye, now, like what did they say? Once, twice is a coincidence, three times is a pattern. The movie overall, how do you feel about where would you rate it, or you don't?
I mean, it's a fun watch. Yeah. It's definitely not something that you went and went, man, that was terrible. No, it was a fun watch. Yeah. It just isn't something on my list that's like, oh my gosh, that is my favorite, or that's the best ever.
That naked scene, I bet you was like. I noticed something in the trailer. I was like, I saw the daughters or the women behind Zeus pass out, and I was like, wait, did a couple guys pass out too? And then I saw it. I was like, yeah, okay, that, and this was probably in the trailer too, but. Pay attention to that scene again. And this was in the trailer. But not only did the women that were with Zeus pass out, not only did a couple of guys also, oh man, that's some candy. Look at the royal guards that are standing by Zeus. I noticed I'm sorry if this is a spoiler, but I think it's in the trailer. I noticed this detail when I watched it. Even then, like, you know, you're a guard. You're supposed to keep your composure. Like the Queen's guards are supposed to always be cool. But even they, and I thought they were going to drop, and they didn't. They didn't drop, but I ever saw the guard like, he wobbled. That killed me. That was funny. Even though I felt like most of the funniest stuff was probably in the trailer. They already there was nothing really. The only thing that was great, that was unexpected, that wasn't in the trailer was like the serious stuff. But all the funniest stuff was pretty much what we saw in the trailer.
Except for the screaming goats.
We saw the goat, but the goats were the goats. Besides that, you're right. That killed, that crushed. Without giving it away, what did you think about was one of the worst things about a waste of time about Thor 2 was that one of their end credit scenes where they just kiss. But I felt like there's two end credit scenes, mm-hmm. and one of them is to push things forward. I feel like this is probably like how I feel about Eternals. Once more things get introduced, and the whole big maybe my theory about the Young Avengers. Once we get more further down the road for Phase 4 to Phase 5, we're then going to look back probably at Thor: Love and Thunder and go, because they're probably going to pull a lot of things from this movie. It's going to affect things moving forward. It's going to go, yeah, that was brilliant. Because I feel like that about Age of Ultron. Because once we got WandaVision, then leading it to Doctor Strange 2 and all that stuff, there's a lot of things that happened with Age of Ultron, which was considered one of the weakest Avengers movies, where people went back and went, no, that was actually perfect, because we just needed some time away from it, and we needed more things, the bigger picture to come into play. And hopefully that's what we're going to feel. But as of right now, I'm like, it's okay.
It's okay.
It's just okay. Better than Thor 2. But not better than Thor Ragnarok. And I rank the only reason why I think Thor Ragnarok may be a better movie. Thor was such a surprise. I expected that to be a flop, but that was such a surprise movie. It still ranks the best out of the Thor for me because of how much of a surprise it was, of how good it was. So with Thor Ragnarok, I expected it to be good. And all that stuff. So I'll always have Thor 2 as second place behind Thor 1. That's it. We tried to keep it a tight 30. Let us know what you guys thought about the movie if you haven't seen it yet. Are you going to go see it now based on what our thoughts were about the movie? Did we talk you into it? Did we talk you out of it? Let us know what you guys think. Share your thoughts in your comments. If you've already seen the movie, come back here. We'll do some spoiler talk probably on Talking to the Movies channel, and especially on the main channel on the T3 Media's channel where I do my show, The Rundown. We'll probably talk more about it, get your guys' reactions to it. So send your thoughts, any questions or anything like that, or anything that you want me to discuss on the main show, and subscribe there and here, and to keep up with us. And until next time, guys, have a good one, and go check out a good movie, because it was pretty good. Go check it out. I enjoyed it. You will too.